Netflix sued for depicting Cleopatra as black. What? Excuse me. Can you say that again? I wasn't listening. What'd you say? Netflix sued for depicting Cleopatra as black. Elaborate. An Egyptian lawyer on Sunday filed a lawsuit over Netflix's upcoming Queen Cleopatra, accusing the streaming service of quote unquote erasing the Egyptian identity for depicting the ruler as a black woman. Mahmoud al-Samari submitted a legal complaint with Egypt's public prosecutor following the recent release of a trailer for the docudrama series, which premieres May 10th. His filing not only requested legal action be taken against the makers of the show, but for Netflix to be shut down in Egypt. Oh, dang, this dude ain't messing around. Most of what Netflix platform displays do not conform to Islamic and societal values and principles, especially Egyptian ones, Mahmoud al-Samari said in his complaint, according to the Egypt Independent. Adele James, a British actress who is of mixed race, stars as the Queen in the upcoming Netflix production. Jada Pinkett Smith serves as an executive producer of the series, and she is quoted in promotional material from Netflix as saying, quote, "We don't often get to see or hear stories about black queens, and that was really important for me as well as my daughter, and just for my community to be able to know those stories because there are tons of them." However, many historians and experts on ancient Egypt disagree with Pinkett Smith, instead saying Cleopatra was of Macedonian heritage and likely fair-skinned. But not everyone shares this view. Other scholars have argued that the monarch may have had additional ancestries, and her complexion may not have been fair. Officially named Cleopatra VII, the monarch ruled during the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt from 51 to 30 BC. Cleopatra's stature in popular culture grew thanks to Hollywood features, which often featured the queen being portrayed by white actresses such as Elizabeth Taylor and Vivian Leigh. More recently, the debate about Cleopatra's appearance once again flared up in 2020 when Israeli actress Gal Gadot was cast as the ruler for an upcoming project. People on social media complained that an Arab or African actress should have gotten the part, and Gadot defended her casting during a BBC interview, which she said a Macedonian actress was not available. When asked about Cleopatra in regards to the upcoming Netflix series, Catherine Bard, a professor of archaeology and classical studies at Boston University, told Newsweek that, quote, "We don't know what color Cleopatra's skin was, and unless her mummy is found, unlikely, and DNA can be analyzed from it, we will never know. Her father was a Ptolemy of Macedonian descent, but it's less certain who her mother was. But even a so-called docudrama is bound to fictionalize much of her life for entertainment's sake," Bard added. One popular theory is that Cleopatra's mother came from the family of the priests of Memphis, which would have made her half Egyptian. The filing by al-Samari reportedly does not delve into such intricacies, but instead claims that Netflix is damaging Egypt's history. According to the BBC, al-Samari's complaint accuses Netflix of trying to promote the Afrocentric thinking, which includes slogans and writings aimed at distorting and erasing the Egyptian identity. Meanwhile, James has been subjected to criticism on social media for her casting, which has included messages that contain racist epithets. Did I say that right? No, I don't think so. Epithets. Why is it so difficult? Sorry. She responded to these remarks by tweeting that she would block accounts that use hate speech while defending her role, saying, "If you don't like the casting, don't watch the show, or do and engage in expert opinion different to yours. Either way, I'm gassed and will continue to be." Here is her tweet. I'm not going to show the racist messages she received. Yeah, that stuff's messed up. The only good news is, like, it's 2 examples, and one of them has a mere 3 likes and the other one has 15 likes, meaning they don't really have any support at all. However, there are tweets with a lot more support responding to her with, like, actual criticism about the casting and stuff. I wonder if she'll talk about those or ignore them. For example, this response from Sharif Hana that says, "Adele, our opposition as Egyptians is not against you personally, though I'm sure it hasn't been easy for you. We are objecting to the falsification of our history for the sake of a political battle and agenda that doesn't really involve us. Truth matters. History matters." Memes saying Cleopatra was in fact from the Ptolemaic Hellenic Greek dynasty of northern Greece. Comes from the Greek feminine noun kleos, meaning glory, and pater, meaning father. She's equated with the Egyptian. Well, I don't know if I can say that one. The algorithm gonna think I'm talking about something else. And Aphrodite. History cannot be falsified, but novels may be written. Conversely, this response supporting the tweet gets a bit racist and sexist, or a bit misogynistic. That said, I'll make the same argument as before. This has, like, no likes, so it's not like it has support. But this one is just weird. Like, What kind of approach is that? Like, surely you can support the casting choice if you like it without having to get bigoted, right? Or not, right? You're incapable of doing that, apparently? Okay, got it. I'm certain this will go over well in Egypt, who is now suing the show. That's so crazy. I will be blocked without hesitation. Do you promise? Don't taunt me with a good time without keeping your promise. Dude, the situation's crazy. Like, the internet's been wild lately. And by lately, I mean, I don't know, the last year or two. Like, there's just constant crazy headlines and stuff, bro. I didn't expect this morning to see news of, like, Egyptian lawyer suing Netflix. I am an actual Egyptian. Born in the USA, my family is Egyptian. I've been to Egypt many times. And I am not the only Egyptian ticked off by your fiction. Don't call it a documentary. Even Egyptian Egyptologists are calling out your nonsense. This is actual cultural appropriation. Conversely, this response supporting the casting choice says that all the mad Egyptians are racist, essentially. The weirdest thing might actually be what Jada Pinkett Smith apparently said. Like, let's go over that one more time. We don't often get to see or hear stories about black queens, and that was really important for me as well as for my daughter, and just for my community to be able to know those stories because there are tons of them. But, like, look, I'm all for getting more of those stories. I mean, black people are cool, and I like history. So yeah, sounds interesting. But, like, apparently they picked one of the ones that's, like, very disputed and debatable. Like, if there's so many stories of awesome black queens or whatever, why'd they pick the one that's, like, debated? Like, it just seems weird to me. Like, I don't get it. Do you get it? Am I missing something here? Let me know in the comments. Okay, look, this is why I was asking if I was missing something. I really was actually missing something. So it looks like this is, like, the actual documentary is called African Queens, and it involves a number of those African queens, and apparently the Cleopatra thing is just, like, one of the episodes. Is that more accurate to what's going on? I think. Oh, wait, more than an episode. So the entire second season focused on Queen Cleopatra. Maybe they should have just done, like, season 1 and not season 2. I don't know. But, like, even in the responses to Jada Pinkett Smith, you got people saying Cleopatra was of Greek origin. More examples right here. There are many black queens to celebrate without you misappropriating the race of other queens. You do know Cleopatra was Greek, right? Egypt's Alexandria rulers, including Cleopatra, were ethnically Greek, descended from Alexander the Great's general Ptolemy I Soter. Is it one or Ptolemy the First Soter? No, it is one, right? I forget how to read that. They would have spoken Greek and observed Greek customs, separating themselves from the ethnically Egyptians. So wait, would this dude disagree with the Egyptian lawyer trying to sue Netflix right now? Yeah, so look, I'm just covering the news. Clearly, I'm a bit confused by all of this stuff. I'm just trying to understand. I think I've been pretty fair, too. Like, I went out of my way to see what this whole, like, documentary was about. Got the info about the second season and all that. But yeah, clearly, I don't really have a skin in this fight. Some white dude from Cali. I'm just, like, watching this all happen. I don't know, man. I guess it goes back to what I said initially, though. Like, maybe they should have just left season 2 out of this. Maybe that would have been better. But yeah, I'll definitely say Jada Pinkett Smith's statement here, this is, like, really weird, considering at least everything I took a look at just now. Like, the evidence is not supporting this claim. If anything, it's debatable, but it certainly is not, like, 100% confirmed. So she's saying this so confidently, which just comes off like she doesn't know what she's talking about, or she's just, like, lying through her teeth. I don't know. Yeah, so I think this whole situation is more evidence as to why we need, like, a really, really, really good reboot of Blade. Like, let's get something that everyone likes where there's, like, a black main character. Oh, but they'll probably say it's misogyny because it's not a woman. Dang it. Anyways, that's all I got. One final thing. Shout out to Egypt because Bakura, one of my favorite characters in anime of all time, is from Egypt. So that's awesome. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. Thank you for tuning in. See you in the comments and in the next segment tomorrow.